Hey guys, Anthony here. It is Monday, October 16th, 2023. Wanted to make a follow-up video to a video I did over the weekend talking about the how I believe the governments of the world are all working together. And if you cannot see that since 2019 moving forward, if you cannot picture it in your mind or see it, think back of how they acted during the pandemic, how they acted during the mandates, the rollout of the armed ticket. Think of how all the nations of the world were all on the same page, all preaching the same thing, all telling you how much they wanted to save their citizenry, and everyone had to take this armed ticket in order to be healthy and to stay alive and to function and to participate in society. And then just recently with these attacks from Gaza into Israel, I still want my original question answered. People keep trying to put me in a box. If you're not with Israel, you're with the terrorists. Listen, if you want to put a flag on your profile, just like you did with the Ukraine flag, just like you did with the little band-aids for the vaccine, anything, go right ahead. It's a free country still, as far as I can see, that you'll be allowed to do that. I'm not doing that. I have friends and family that are Jewish, and I'm not doing that because I know that the governments allowed this to happen. Something is not sitting right with me. How did these people fly parachute, paragliders, motorcycles, whatever they did, and there was no military response for hours, no police response for hours, no armed citizens? Is everyone not armed? In Israel, I thought everybody was supposed to be armed. They're under attack from every side, from their neighbors. Why would you take the guns from your people? Another question for the government. It's another one I'd like to have answered. Now all of a sudden you want to distribute weapons after how many thousand plus people killed, butchered, babies supposedly killed, butchered, women taken prisoner, men taken prisoner, soldiers killed, IDF killed. But no one's asking the question. It's almost like when COVID started, nobody wanted to know about where did it come from. Did it come from a lab? No, it's from a cave, a bat in a cave. Look over here, look over here. And so as we see this war escalating and greater and worse things about to happen, what is the end game of all these countries? And I could tell you what it is, because they have told us by 2030 they want a new system in place. And all of these events that happen or are permitted to happen or allowed to happen at the expense of people, at the expense of the deaths of people, deaths that are still going on from the pandemic and from the armed ticket, still going on and will continue to go on. And yet everybody looks the other way because everybody's under the great delusion of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, 9 through 12. That's the reason why. That's the biblical reason why. People don't want to know the truth. They've embraced the lie. Therefore, they've been given over to a delusion from the Most High. I remember not too long ago, I think it was in November 1st of 2021, there was a summit called the COP26 Climate Summit in Glasgow. And I watched some of the speakers. Prince Charles was one of the speakers during that summit. And I have the text, the part of his speech here. And out at a minute and, where is it? About 2 minutes and 40 seconds in, he says this. And I believe this transcript, they changed his words, but he says this: "We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector with trillions, he's talking trillions of dollars, and he said, and here it says at its disposal. During the speech I heard, he said, with trillions of dollars at his disposal, like a person, a singular person, far beyond the global GDP, with the greatest respect, even beyond even the governments of the world's leaders. It offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition. So how do we do it? First, we get the private sector, and he goes and talks about how all this is done. Okay? The end game of this system, these events that are taking place, the end game in Israel is going to be the ushering in of a figure that brings peace. In the Bible, we know him as the Antichrist, the Anti-Messiah. He brings peace and prosperity and solves problems and does all these wonderful things, and everyone follows after him. This is where we're building. That's what Prince Charles was talking about. That's who he was talking about. They know who's coming. We don't know the date or the time, but we know it's soon because events are taking place to prove it. The world is coming together as they want it. A one world order, a new world order. Whether it's under a COP26 type of umbrella with a one world religion, all worshiping the environment, all singing Kumbaya, all saying peace and safety, pushed by the Vatican, of course, bringing all faiths together. This is what's transpiring. This is what is happening. So they won't answer why there was such a lag in the time that it took the IDF to respond. How didn't they know the people were crossing the border? They were making a racket from the film clips I saw. It's terrible what happened. I denounce what happened. I hate war. The Ukraine war, I didn't put a Ukraine flag up though, because that's a money laundering operation. And it's proven. We're sending all our men, all our material and weaponry there. We left material and weaponry in Afghanistan that's being used by people now to kill innocent people. America gave Iran $6 billion or released it to them to do what they want with it. Let prisoners out. And didn't even ship them back, left them here. So we're not to blame, right? But Joe Biden says we could fight wars on many fronts. We're really strong. If we can fight wars on many fronts, why can't we close our borders? Why can't we vet people that want to come here, let's say? Why are we just letting them in illegally, military-age men, up to millions? Because there's an agenda, there's a plan, and there's an end game. That end game is a one-world government run by an anti-Messiah, an antichrist, and everyone's going to fall for it. Start asking the tough questions instead of putting yourself in one camp or the other. Ask, how is this happening? How is this allowed to happen? That's all I'm saying. Ask the tough questions. Wake up before it's too late. That's my video this morning. That's what I'd like to know, the answer to why it took so long for the IDF to respond. Why, when I heard that they were given warnings by Egypt, even by, I heard by the U.S. as well, and you don't take the warning seriously? You don't look into it? Your intelligence department? And you want me to rally behind that government? No, thank you. Stay ready.